Hey everybody, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of this Game Time podcast. I want everybody just to understand that beat that you just heard was from my late friend Chris Montgomery. Uh, I had no idea the man had a little bit of talents, you know what I'm saying, on the keyboard for real, keyboards, you know what I'm saying, whatever y'all do when y'all make them beats. But I just want to give a shout out to him, man. I love you. Every day, we living for you, man. So just want to start that off with that. But today's episode, man, it's gonna be a little bit. It's about opinions. I'm not trying to devalue nobody else viewpoints about how they feel about certain things. However, I just don't feel like everybody should have an opinion. I think it's kind of corny. I think in retrospect, everything ain't for everybody to communicate or comment on. So, where it's unfortunate we're in a day and age now, like the loudest, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You know what I mean? Like where you got to let somebody know that this going on, this going on, this going on for them to pay attention to you. So that's why a lot of people get a lot of attention. A lot of people get a lot of attention from mess. So they call out people, they do certain things with people because it brings that type of attention. Now, people feel that they have an opinion based on even a situation like that. I have a hard time of putting myself in certain positions if I never been there, so I don't comment on a lot of things that I want to comment on, or I sometimes feel like I should comment on because I don't feel like that. Seriously, like I don't even want to say should. I just don't feel like I have the brevity or whatnot to say anything. But just understand that your voice travels. So maybe you're not paying attention when I'm saying like that, or you're not going out your way like, hey, what Colin's saying is true or what not true. But contrary to popular belief, there's someone that listens to you and believe almost everything that you say. And those people sometimes can tell when you're joking, tell when you're playing, but your opinion, your voice travels. So just be mindful of that when we talk about certain situations and certain subjects. So I want to talk about subjectivity. Anybody ever heard somebody like, man, you being biased, you being this and that? Usually that's subjective. Well, you have almost a preconceived notion of something. So if I talk about something that I know a lot about, like if I have a Dodge Ram or F-150, I understand that the F-150 truck, like I drove it, I know what to expect from the truck because I've been in there. So if I really like the truck, I'm going to say that's the best truck regardless if you know what I mean, if there's other trucks out there that's better. I use my own personal viewpoint or own personal schema to put, what I'm saying, onus and value on something, and it's subjective. It's a subjective viewpoint. Subjectivity, sometimes we need it, but sometimes it's not true. A lot of times it's just how we feel. Again, similar to opinion. But objectivity. I want to talk about objectivity. Objectivity is when you hear something and you able to take yourself out of that equation. You don't recognize it's a truck. Just like the F-150 I said earlier, you just recognize it's a vehicle and it gets you from point A to point B. You don't think about, hey, what color is it, this and that. You just look at stuff at the bare bones and really kind of just, you know, deal with facts. So a lot of times people don't understand. Even when I talk about a lot of things I talk about from a sense of like being objective. Like I try to be extremely objective. Now, with certain situations, I can't help but to be subjective about because that's life experience. If I didn't have life experience, I wouldn't have nothing to talk about half of the time when I talk about these subjects. But just understand and be mindful of it's good to be subjective at times, but at times you got to sit back and be objective. And I say that to say people feel like they have an opinion about every single thing. And like I said earlier, it's not one of those things where your opinion is not needed. It's probably not even wanted. Just sometimes just shut up. Just stop talking because you have no horse in the race. Or there's nothing you can say to better the situation or bring good credence to what you're saying. If anything, sometimes it kills your brand. It kills what people think about you. It kills whatever intelligence people really sometimes the ones that are intelligent think that you have because of you're just talking really just to be random. Just like I say, like a lot of my friends, sometimes I see them talk. The last, I guess, playoff series, you hear people talk about LeBron and about how he was trash. He can't do this. He can't do that. And my thing about LeBron is, regardless if you like him or not, he's one of the best players that ever played the game of basketball. And people cannot take that without saying this. Like they can't say he's a great player without saying Kobe was better or Jordan was better. They all were great players. So don't dim somebody else's light just to, you know what I'm saying, make your light shine brighter. Because if anything, that just shows an insecurity in that person's own self where you can't even acknowledge somebody else as being that. I was always taught just to be honest with yourself and just sometimes shut the hell up if you have no place to say or no place to talk. Um, a lot of these people talk like they just was the biggest hoopers and best hoopers of all time and never picked up a basketball. Don't even know really how to hoop. So it's just funny to me, like how everybody just know how people are supposed to act when they take a shot or how they feel. It just, but even then, it's not always not untrue, but sometimes it's just not needed. So it kind of kills your validity. But like I was listening to the Kanye West album, and I don't know if anybody listened to the album, the Ye album, but it's just kind of short, and it's just a decent album. I mean, for my opinion, again, opinion. It just is it's short to me. So I usually drive a lot, so I like albums to be at least 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So that's probably for me to get from a city to a city. I like to listen to the whole album. So in my opinion, I didn't like it because it was that short. That's to not say that the project was not a good project. It's just that was a minuscule project. So I seen people online and people are so quick to dub things as classics and being the best thing ever. And I'm like, this is a time where I feel like your opinion is just enjoy the music. You don't always have to have a this is better than that. This is better than his last album. No, you ain't always got to say that. Just sometimes just take what the album is and just enjoy the album. Treat the album as its own self. So when you hear the album and then when time go past, then you're able to make that, nah, this isn't as good as Yeezus, or Yeezus was his best work or worst work, or you were able to do that. You'll be able to have that comparison. Even then, you're comparing the man on what he used to be. You're not always trying to throw an opinion just to make yourself feel more relevant. Because to me, I'm sorry if I sound a little mean and ignorant. It just sounds ignorant to me. Like people that do that, it's a pet peeve of mine. Anybody ever had a conversation with me know that I overthink. When I say I'm a deep thinker, so I think stuff two times. Like, it's certain things I don't care about. I'm very nonchalant about, man, it's whatever, that's stupid. But I think about that. I think about how people are conveyed and how they come across to other people. So I'm okay with you thinking I'm an asshole. However, I'm not okay with people thinking that I'm dumb because I'm not stupid. So it bothers me when somebody I know have that perception of me, but at the same time, I kind of sit back and be like, hey, that's your own perception. I kind of look at you and realize maybe why you think about that. But then I have to realize that even that's your opinion. I can get in my fit, but that's my opinion. I can't go and argue with you all the time and tell you how smart I am because that just make me look, I don't know, make me look crazy. But that's why I don't comment on everything. I don't make myself known. I just keep a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, to myself because you don't never know what you got to say about the situation or what you have to offer in that situation. Like I love Dragon Ball Z. People that know me know I love this show. So if somebody asks me anything about the show, I usually have a something, to offer the show. I usually have a situation to offer. I usually have a viewpoint because a lot of people don't watch that show to the extent that I did. So I broke down certain things of the show. So I have, I have a little bit more intelligence or knowledge, you should say, in that sense. So I'm not saying even then I'll be right, but that's something I will know. But I'm not going to talk about, buying a house because I haven't bought a house. I looked into buying a house. It's things I know about buying a house, but I have not purchased a house. I have not, laid down drywall or anything in the house. So when situations come across like that, I have to consult somebody who do know. So if I see somebody talking about that information, I'm not going to speak on that because that's not my cup of tea and that's not showing intelligence. And a lot of people need to kind of sometimes check that. Just sit down and understand like it's okay not to know. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay not to comment. Like contrary to popular belief, like everybody want to have a good time, everybody want to laugh. But there's always a fine line between laughing and just being a troll or just being negative. Um, I don't know if y'all remember when Whitney Houston died, and when she died, it was something that it was messed up that she died, and when they figured out how she died, it was just tragic. But not even 24 hours, you got memes of this lady like, I drowned, and it's just like, respect the dead, respect that situation, regardless. Like, and I realize people do and say anything just to get a laugh, and they forget that there's always somebody going through something, or somebody is dealing with something. They take the whole empathetic aspect out that case. So I know I'm saying a lot. I know I'm not trying to preach to y'all for real, but I just want y'all to pay attention to that stuff, because for real, do travel. Like I said earlier, people pay attention to what you say. I maybe don't, and I maybe not gonna lose sleep over it. Just think you on some other stuff, but maybe somebody do. Like, somebody do is gonna believe what you're saying and be like, "Hey, this is true. This is not true." Just be cognizant of that. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people really do it sometimes. Like, throw out an opinion because they want to feel important. You know what I mean? They want to feel like they know more than the next person, and that's a normal human thing. They want to be right, but to the extent of like like just losing all credibility is just kind of concerning, because why would you throw away everything that you built over your intelligence just to, I guess, win an argument or whatnot? Because it's gonna be times you're wrong, there's gonna be times you don't know. So if you don't know, just be quiet, be a fly on the wall, and listen. Some people can't tell the difference between listening and arguing. Some people just don't listen, they just waiting to talk. So when I communicate with people, my big thing is to try to hear where you're coming from. That's why I try to affirm what they're saying. So if they affirm what I'm saying, okay, this is what you're saying, okay, then I can go forward. So then, if the conversation permits, it probably needs an opinion, or maybe I just need to be quiet. At that time, you got to know when to make that call. There's too many people nowadays with all these access to say anything. They just say anything. I don't know if they get drunk or high and say whatever they feel like, but that's what it is. But I guess I'm more so saying, man, like, everybody that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they got the right to have an opinion. I don't want to make it seem like that they don't, because opinions are opinions. Like, that's what make everybody great. Like, different viewpoints is what makes everybody. That's why I know people can love and hate me at the same time, because I'm opinionated, and I believe what the fuck I'm saying a lot of the times. Like, y'all think I'm playing, but I believe what the hell I be saying. When I be saying, like, man, you got 4 baby daddies or baby mamas and you don't know who the fuck they is, like, to me, that's some whole shit. I'm sorry. Like, there's always situations or exceptions to every rule, but to me, that's some whole shit, B. For real, for real. So I believe that. But again, that don't make I could be, you know what I'm saying, objective, and no, that does not make you, that you can still make you a good person, a good mom, or whatever, but it's just not a woman I date, probably. You know what I mean? Or in that case, for a male, hopefully that's not a man that you would date, sister. I hope not. If that, then that's on you. But another conversation for another day. But I just think it's good to have an opinion, man. But sometimes niggas need to just shut the fuck up, because if you just shut the fuck up and listen, there's so much more that can be gained from you just shutting the fuck up. Um, yeah, but I guess I said, that's how it ruins your credibility. Like, if you always talking about something, you don't know what you're talking about, man. It just, I don't know. That just bothersome to me. But it's neither here nor there. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's It's Game Time podcast. I'm gonna make sure to drop these episodes every week. I apologize for kind of getting off of the horse a little bit, but y'all know, Kaylin and Lil Nari been kind of going in on me. You know what I'm saying, changing me up a little bit, not stressing me out, but tiring me out. So the episodes I be having that I want to record, I can't never upload them when I do want to upload them, because I got to change something. But again, y'all have a good day. Y'all take it easy. Love y'all. Y'all be safe out there, and have a good day.